Hi, Greg here at the Caddis Fly Shop in Eugene, Oregon. Today we'll be tying the Tiger Midge, an effective nymphing pattern not only on rivers but also on stillwater lakes. Join me today. Beautiful pattern, Tiger Midge. We're going to be tying it on a Gamakatsu J20 jig hook. This is a size 14, but I would tie this on a size 14, 16, 18. I mean, I would even go a size 20. We're going to be using a tungsten bead that has a slot in it that's designed to work over these jig hooks that has a 60-degree bend. These flies ride this direction. A lot of Euro nymphers use them. You can also use this type of fly underneath an indicator. You can also throw it underneath a dry fly if you wanted to do a dry dropper. However, if you're using tungsten, I probably would not use it as a dropper on a dry fly. It might be a little too heavy. Anyway, it's a very simple pattern. I'm using denier 140 thread here, and the reason why I'm using this thread today is it's very flossy, and I want to lay down my body as smooth as I can. That's what's key on these tiger midges. And if I spin my bobbin counterclockwise, as you can see, the thread opens up and becomes a little more flossy. So I'm going to take my thread back to the hook point, and I'm going to be using some silver wire today. This is a size small, and I'm going to lay this in facing me and come back on up. And as I'm coming up, making touching wraps, and you can see I want to keep that thread as flossy as I can. Now I'm going to be coming back with touching wraps because I want to keep that body as smooth as I can, and I'm going to come slightly behind the hook point, just about to the curve of the hook. Once again, I'm constantly spinning my thread counterclockwise to give it a nice flossy feel. I'm going to take that back up to the front. I'm giving this a very slight taper. And when I get back to the front, I'm going to go ahead and really start tying this off. The reason why I'm doing this is I really want to lock in this bead. So now personally I like to put a half hitch in right here because I am going to be spinning using my rotary vise to put the wire on, and if you put a half hitch there, it just doesn't fall off. Now the reason why I put that wire right on the shank of the hook towards me is so when I start this first wrap, it's just very clean coming off the tag in there or the butt. And I just want to do nice, evenly spaced wraps. Lock that in with 2 or 3 wraps of thread. I also like to lock it down in the front just to pinch it off. You can either cut that off or you can just spin it off like so. And then what I like to use on this fly, and give me 1 second, I'm going to go run, is I'm going to put a little bit of ice dubbing here for a collar, just a very, very little amount. And what that will give, not only a wing case, but it will also just give it a little bit of wings itself and a little bit of action. So a little bit of black ice dub. Give me 1 second. All right, so guys, I'm actually going to go with what I love. This is peacock black ice dub. I'm just going to do a very small little pinch. Doesn't take a lot. In fact, if you're ever dubbing, put it on in small quantities first. It's much easier. You can use dubbing wax, or just a lot of this thread already has wax in it, or just lick your fingers. And then you're just going to build a little collar, just like so, and finish that off with a 4 or 5 whip finish, or just a couple of half hitches here. I don't have my whip finishing tool, so I'm just going to do a couple of half hitches because I'm going to be gluing that down. Now if you have any longer little strands of that ice dub right now, just go ahead and cut them out of the way if you need to. And now I'm taking some hardest hole for the front here, and I just put a little dab of glue right on top of that slotted tungsten bead. It gets down there onto the thread. But another thing I'm going to do, you can also use UV glue if you wanted to. If you were, I would use a really thin UV glue, much easier to work with. In this case, I'm going to use the hardest hole. I'm just going to take a little bead of glue and just hit the entire body with this. And if I get any on the eye stub, don't worry about it. I'll trim that off later. But just a very little bit. Let that dry. You can even use your bodkin if you need to get it in there to distribute it. And there you go. That's your classic tiger midge. An extremely effective pattern for trout in rivers and also in still water. I would use this on Crowley Lake and many of the different lakes that you have on the eastern Sierra Nevada. I would also use this in the Deschutes River and all those other beautiful trout streams here in Oregon. Tiger Midge, I hope it works for you guys. Get out there, get it wet.